People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Mer.
I'm the problem. It's
Mister.
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, the sports fan version of Matt is way more relatable than the sports fan version of Jim Rutledge or me. You're thinking like a radio host, which means a hardcore radio and sports person. Matt's thinking like somebody that has a job doing something else that also likes sports.
That's Matt's whole charm.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
He is Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Molly Brown out with babies. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Primetime Wollersheim already annoyed with us behind the glass here. But
Well, that was my fault.
that's all right. We almost were twinsies today. I was going to wear the same colorway as their Milwaukee Bucks Giannis jersey, but I went with my Oklahoma Jordan quarter zip here, so might be a half zip. I'm not quite sure. But you can see how fly we look on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Oh, and you got what? You got SB Dunks on? And what ones?
Nope, Jordan 1s.
Jordan 1s, sorry.
with the elephant print and the same blue as the jersey. So.
Okay.
You mean the ones I stepped on while walking out of the studio?
Yeah, Ryan.
Ryan almost got
That's
punched
the
in the
reason
throat.
I threatened to break your finger.
Yeah, that's why I was annoyed with you, obviously.
You can get into the show, 844-770-3776. That's the Carb List Talk and Text line. List is more. Yesterday we asked you our Signing Unlimited poll question. Matt LaFleur says the next step for Jordan Love is to become a more vocal leader. Is that something that comes natural or can it only be taught? And 58% of you said it is only something that comes natural.
Wow,
so
that made
42% of you said can be taught.
The tot made a late push.
It did.
Because it was like 33% to 66 most of the show yesterday.
Well, it went the way that I believe it would. Again, I think Jordan Love's a leader, and we asked this question because Coach LaFleur brought it up yesterday as far as wanting more vocal leadership out of Jordan Love. I did find it interesting that Jason Wilde asked rhetorically, like, do we even know if Jordan Love's a good leader at all? Like, we don't see a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And some players just exude it more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're around Rodgers as much. I don't think as much anymore. Like, you can tell with Rodgers, especially in his time with Green Bay, that there was some sort of quiet confidence leadership.
Yeah.
There was something there. It was hard to figure out. Favre, you could see more of. Like when you
He
look
was
at
a
quarterbacks.
vocal leader.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
And
he was a rah-rah guy.
Yes. And it's so sometimes it's just easier to see.
Yeah. And I think Jordan Love is that leader. I hope what he takes from Matt LaFleur's comment like that is the vocalness. Like, find a way to make it yours. Find a way to make it comfortable for you, because when you're in your comfort zone, that's when you're going to play your best.
And that's what I kind of want to get into here. And that's, we'll throw out our first Signing Unlimited poll question. And it's off of yesterday. And what is more important for the Packers to take the next step from going to have a good team to a great team next season? Love getting better at QB or Love becoming a better leader? What does Jordan Love need to be better at? QB play or leadership? 844-770-3776. That's the Carb List Talk and Text line. List is more. That's our Signing Unlimited poll question. What does Jordan Love need to be better at for the Packers to be better next year? Leadership or QB play?
Can I answer?
You can do it now, or yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's
you
QB
are the
play.
co-host of the show.
It's QB play, because if he elevates his game, say he turns into a 65% completion rate, and he's makes smarter decisions with the ball, fewer interceptions, that kind of quiet, calm leadership is going to it's going to rub off. Like, winning is the cure to everything. Anything that goes wrong with a win, it totally nullifies it. Look at the Lions and Jared Goff. They had a game against the Texans, 5 picks, managed to win the game.
Didn't you throw 5 touchdowns on that game too, or was that a different game?
Which one? That's the Texans game you said?
That was a different one.
Okay.
He didn't throw 5, but I mean, he's still like out. Granted, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? Other than the 5 interceptions, he had a perfectly fine game. Like, they were able to move the ball. Obviously, they kept their team in the game, but like, you don't hear about people dwelling on Goff's decision-making because he had a bad game, but he was a leader that didn't get rattled by those picks and went out and led his team to a win over the Texans. And I think if Jordan Love improves his quarterback play a little bit, he's going to get a few more passes on the mistakes. But he's got to make fewer mistakes, and that's going to show leadership. That's going to show that this quiet, confident guy is making steps to be better. He's already the captain of the team, the essentially the main guy. I think that is going to bleed into the rest of the team, and they're going to see hey, even this guy who got the biggest contract at the time in the NFL for quarterbacks is still going out there and constantly trying to improve and be better. That's the leader that I would want. I want someone leading by example, but I wouldn't mind if he got in my ear a little bit if he saw a mistake.
Jeremiah Madison chimes in. Neither we need front end receivers, number one receivers. And that helps. It would help his accuracy. And I want to hear from Mina Kimes in a minute with Dominique Foxworth. And they both kind of talked about some ways that Jordan Love could improve. And we'll get to that in a second. But league average completion percentage for the year was 65% this season. So I'll tell you the quarterbacks that what's the marker we want to go with? 10 games that started 10 games that were below league average?
At least 10 games.
Russell Wilson, and so he started the last 11 games for the team. He started hurt, so I would consider him in here. He is below league average. And then the one outlier on here as far as an elite quarterback would be Josh Allen, because then you got Deshaun didn't get to 10. You got Jordan Love at 63%, so a whole 2% below league average, tied with Aaron Rodgers, and just a half percentage point in front of Caleb Williams, the rookie. In front of, Trevor Lawrence at only 60%, not great. And
also $55 million a year.
Is he? I don't think he is.
Yep, 55.
Was he the same money?
Yep.
All right. So great.
I think it was less guaranteed, but
misery loves company. You got two guys that can't complete league average amount. So quarterbacks who are league average or above: Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Matt Stafford, Bo Nix. I'm looking at guys. Drake,
the rookie,
Drake May. He played more games than I thought. Yep. Lamar. I'm trying to name guys that would be annoying to you. Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr.
Dude, Kirk Cousins is going to be working at Kohl's next year instead of shopping there.
Still can complete passes at a higher completion percentage than. I'm not saying he's better than Jordan Love. It just highlights Jordan Love's. I don't care about drops. Let's say it just, and I don't know if they were extraordinarily more drops than normal for the Packers. But
they were ranked top 5 in the league this year.
So if we bring it to league average, he's what?
Remember, the Super Bowl champs last year were number 1 in drops last year.
But my point is also, if let's say you drop those drops to league average, Jordan Love's probably still at or just below league average.
Yeah, at best he's league. Yeah. That's why when I said 65%, that felt like about
65.3 technically.
That to me felt like middle of the road. I was like, if Jordan can get to that point, he's
never been there.
It's going to be obvious that he's improved, right?
Yes.
That 2% is not just going to be like, oh, I didn't even realize that Jordan Love hadn't been 65%. You'll know. It's going to be obvious. It's glaring.
TJ from the road said Jordan Love had the yips in the Eagles game. It's almost like the pressure got to him at the end of the season. I would say that. I think, again, he flattened out his highs and his lows, but there were some, he did not finish the year strong.
It felt like he raised his floor, but he lowered his ceiling.
Yeah,
right?
It was not these high, big, giant, amazing games. And honestly...
Well, at least we got a couple of those last year.
Right.
Felt like it was like, whoa, where did this guy come from, right?
And you thought there was just going to take off going forward. There was not, and I think Tauscher said this, not one game that dominated start to finish.
Right.
And so that is something to keep an eye on for Jordan Love. But I also heard this from Mina Kimes and Dominic Foxworth, and I wanted to hear more, and I want to get your reaction to it. Let's hear him.
I think Jordan Love's lack of mobility is a huge problem and one that needs to be an off-season priority for him and for this team. Because there were numerous points in this game where I was like, keep it! And he would hand it off. Josh Jacobs would get stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and it was wide open for him to keep. On the season, he has 5.5 rush yards per game. That's behind Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old, coming off of an Achilles. I went back and watched his longer scrambles. He looks fine. Look, he's not one of the premier dual threats in the NFL. He never will be. But, he looks fine running.
I mean, he's Mahomes level athleticism at least. At least.
It's infuriating. So there's a lot of things the Packers need to do, but I just wanted to emphasize that because it drove me crazy in this game, and it's been something that I've been annoyed by for a while.
One of my criticisms of him has been that he trusts his arm too much. And I meant it in that, I meant it in that.
Part of why I think he doesn't run.
Right. And I did. So I'm saying this this is another aspect of that. I would say it as you know what? Maybe don't try that throw, but this guy trusts his arm too much.
You got 8 yards.
And he's going to try that throw. But this one is you trust your arm too much. Tuck it and keep it moving, which is, I feel like it's something that can be learned, though. Understanding that when you do that, your life gets easier,
Watch every other quarterback who's been winning in the playoffs.
And that's Mina Kimes, Dominic Foxworth, and that is from Mina Kimes' show with Lenny. Lenny, her dog, is always appearing in the show.
Okay.
Not so much talking on the show. But thanks for that audio. And Matt?
I mean, I don't disagree at all. I feel like there's plenty of times this season where, third or second and 10, Jordan Love will hold, and I know he could tuck it and get 4, maybe 5 yards. Go ahead and slide. Don't take the hit. I'm not asking you to take a shot to get as many yards as you can, but a 3rd and 5 is a lot more manageable than him either taking a shot or having to throw it away on 2nd and 10 and leaving yourself a 3rd and 10. Mm-hmm. The playbook opens up exponentially when your route runners only need to go 5 yards to get open. That's the difference from a 3-step drop to a 7-step drop, and given probably 2 seconds to 4 seconds for these pass rushers to get to you. So, yeah, I think if Jordan Love was able to weigh the risk reward of trying to chunk out 2, 3, 4, even 5 yards on a carry, as opposed to holding it for an extra 2 seconds. And what we have seen is he doesn't always get rid of it. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes, at times when he holds it for an extra couple seconds, he takes a sack. And now, instead of 3rd and 10, we're looking at 3rd and 13, 3rd and 16.
Well, just as bad taking a hit.
And taking a shot, exactly.
I'm trying to remember specifically the play he got injured on against the Bears, but that play felt like something that he could have tucked and run. Maybe beforehand.
There was a lot of pressure in the pocket. He tried to step up and throw, and while throwing, his elbow hits his offensive lineman's
if he had
helmet.
stepped up and tried to just pull it and run, I don't know.
I think he could have bootlegged. I don't think there's enough room in front of him, which is why he hurt his elbow.
It was a messy pocket. It
was absolutely a messy pocket.
He could have bootlegged around it and either got rid of the ball because you're out of the pocket. You can throw it out of bounds. There's no intentional grounding penalty for that.
Yeah.
Or who knows? Maybe he's able to get a yard or two.
Right. And so. I kind of lean back on the team that I watch, but Caleb Williams early in the year, and he took a lot of sacks throughout, so he's not – Jordan Love is better in the pocket overall. Mm-hmm. But early in the year, he didn't run the ball a lot, and that was more Shane Waldron coaching, and Caleb thought, I need to be a pocket QB.
I don't want to be labeled as a scrambling quarterback, right?
And this is like Aaron Rodgers and all that, which is a fallacy. Aaron Rodgers is a mobile QB.
Oh, my gosh. Aaron Rodgers used to torch people with his feet, especially when he was – younger.
Yes.
He would sit, and if he saw the defense was totally selling out to defend the pass, he'd take the yards given, and that's what I think Caleb Williams learned this year, and I think that's what Jordan Love needs to find his sweet spot.
Aaron Rodgers was better at it this year than Jordan Love was, but back to the Caleb side of it.
Because he's a wily veteran, Jim.
Thomas Brown came in and said, run. Packers saw that firsthand. The first game Thomas Brown was the OC for. Caleb Williams had one of his higher running. I don't think the Packers were expecting it, but it was one of those, instead of trying to always get free to then let it rip, it was get free, and if it's open, take the few yards and get down. They're not looking for Caleb to do that, and more importantly, in this case, Jordan Love. Jordan Love, I joked about being sneaky and athletic. He does seem like a guy who takes a lot to get going, But if he makes that decision to pull it down and run faster, then I do think that could help him going forward avoid more hits, weirdly, because he can get out of the way of pressure. He seems to understand where it's coming from. But then when you're out of it, it might also cut down on his interceptions.
Yeah.
Again, you know who had a really low interception rate this year? Caleb Williams. Now, he took too many sacks, but Jordan wouldn't have that problem because he's more advanced in the pocket, so he could get out of the pocket and then just take a few yards and slide down.
Yeah. Or, let's not forget, Packers legend, Brett Favre, used to tuck it, take a couple steps.
He threw a lot of interceptions.
Well, okay, the interceptions. But what I'm saying more with, the whole tucking it idea, you can put it under your arm and pretend to go. Those linebackers that are covering the underneath route are going to cheat up on you, and then he'd throw the ball. How many times did Brett Favre run up to the line of scrimmage and then pick it back up and fire it?
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think Jordan Love has the athleticism to do that?
No. But I get
Do
what
I
you're
think
saying.
that Jordan Love could fake a run and then throw a ball instead?
It's tough to reset your feet, get the ball off, and throw it accurately.
Jordan Love doesn't set his
that.
feet, and I'm not asking him to set to throw it a mile down the field. I'm saying if you got a guy running a crossing route across the center 4 or 5 yards in front of you, you can pull that linebacker towards you because they're expecting you to tuck that ball and just lob it.
But do you feel like you've ever seen him make that play? Do you think he has the athleticism to do that?
I do think he's athletic enough to do that.
I haven't seen it, though. Honestly, I haven't seen him make those plays out of the pocket where he's able to just get that little bit, the Mahomes-type play, stuff like that. Even Caleb Williams, I'll be honest,
We
makes
watched
those plays.
Jordan Love throw the ball left-handed last year, getting sacked. He
How far did he
switched
throw
hands.
it?
Yeah, but that's not.
No, but I'm saying it's the guy can make a weird off-balance throw.
I want him to. I'm just saying, I feel like I can't remember many instances of that.
I think, and again, it might not be something that's taught, but just knowing that is a arrow in your quiver is something that the defenses are going to have to deal with as well.
I agree. I'm just asking, are we sure he can?
I'm fairly confident that he can. And I'm fairly confident most quarterbacks in the NFL have a level of athleticism to be able to run 2 steps forward and then throw a ball.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, 100%. And these are things that we think personally, I think Jordan can work on. And that's, you tuck it and run, but you do that a couple times, you're going to get that defense to bite on it. And then there's other ways to counter that, them playing for your ability to try and get a couple yards on a first or second down to just shorten the chains a little bit for yourself.
Maybe they just put Malik Willis on those plays. We know he can do it.
Well, we're going to get to Jordan Love's rushing stats on the other side. He can do it more than Jordan Love can.
What rushing stats?
Right. It's actually really wild how little he runs the football. And I do think another way that I think it gets him less. I think it gets him hit less. But Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb, it is cold and it is snowy outside, or it has snowed. I don't worry about any of it because I got my big blue truck from Simon Chevy in Mount Horeb. I got 4-wheel drive if there's black ice out there, and I got 4-wheel drive if there's snow out there. It's got remote start, heated seats, and the steering wheel heats up too. And here's my favorite part, Matt. When I do the remote start, the seats turn on, and same with the steering wheel.
Because no one's doing that in the summer. Obviously, it's we're aware it's cold
enough. It's a temperature. It's got the temperature in there, so it's below 30. It just fires it up. So if but
no one's remote starting when it's 70.
True, but if it's 90 or 100, I've done it before at the beach.
Oh, to cool the car, maybe.
Yes,
okay.
So it's nice. That's why it's
smarter
got
than I thought.
The smart technology to be able to know that don't warm it up if it's 100. Their seats are already plenty warm.
Does it know to tuck it and run?
Yes, it actually does too. Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You can only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Make sure to go say hi to Aaron and Tyler and everyone out at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. We got Minute to Win It coming up in a little bit. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing, Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Are you taking GLP-1 injections like semaglutides, but wondering how you can keep the weight off long term? Or maybe the weight just isn't coming off as quickly as you thought it would? If you weren't given a specific food plan to follow, you might be at risk of putting the weight back on once the injections end. At MadisonWeightLoss.com, our supervised nutrition plan could help support you and maximize your weight loss results now and empower you with the tools to keep the weight off long term once the injections end.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Struggling to find a weight loss program that really works for you? I was, until I found Madison Weight Loss. In 60 days, I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing my diet. Schedule a free consultation in person or virtual at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we offer a proven approach to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day without exercising or prepackaged foods or counting calories. Plus, our strategies can help you keep the weight off long term. Don't wait. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule a free consultation. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Outside In. That's what we call our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the cool stuff you want outside in your yard displayed inside. Patios, decks, pavers, and an automated pergola, fire pit, outdoor kitchen, a putting green, and in-ground pool. Even a converting 3-season room that's either outside or inside. We are Outdoor Living Unlimited. Your outdoor living potential awaits you at our Outside In showroom, 2018 South Stoughton Road. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Matt Hamilton is sat back down in the Everlight Solar Studio.
I was just showing Ryan I was athletic enough to take 2 steps and then pull it out and maybe get a throw off.
Can you do that with
the ball?
Oh, okay.
Can you do that with a 250-pound linebacker bearing down on you? And
Maybe.
then 10 other guys on the field who are also trying to take your head off?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you. Primetime Will or Sean behind the glass. You can watch us on ESPN Madison's YouTube. You can follow us at ESPN Madison, at Jim, Matt, and Molly. Do we have our Saturday Unlimited poll question up?
That we do.
Fantastic. It's a good, not quite 24 hours later, but
it's 23.
23 hours later. What will help the Packers more? Jordan Love improving his QB play or his leadership? And that's presented by Saturday Unlimited. Right now, 81% of you say QB play.
Weird.
Well,
because other players can be leaders. Like
Amputee in the Mad City says less turnovers will do the trick. If you are winning, then you will be okay. That's how it goes.
I mean, look at Josh Allen. This year's not a great example, but in years past, he would throw some interceptions, but he would bail his team out and they'd win.
Yeah,
and
but forget even the interceptions.
But they forget about it. It's not they forget about it, but it doesn't matter because you won.
Right. The leadership side of things, and I actually truly believe this, that the biggest difference between Aaron Rodgers and Jay Cutler's leadership style was that Aaron Rodgers is so much better at football. They were very similar. They're close friends.
Especially when it came close to the end of the career, they looked a lot more similar.
But also, Aaron got a lot of crap for being fairly demonstrative against his wide receivers.
Yeah, but didn't that seem like that was something that was like right around 2018 and then
it was
on?
Before that. Because here's the other part of it. What they both had is that there's guys who said Aaron Rodgers was not a good leader. There was guys who ride or die with him.
Ask Romeo Dobbs.
Right, but also
Jay never talked to him.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I know,
Jeff
and that's what I'm saying.
Saturday,
I think he was terrible at the end of his career.
But I think even earlier, Greg Jennings, there's Jamarcus Finley, like there's players. And I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers was a bad leader. I'm not saying Jay Cutler was either. They were more of like either you're with me or you're not. You're not against me. But there was guys who ride or die with Cutler. Like, no, that dude is tough, but they only had one speed to be a leader.
Right.
And if you didn't have that speed, then you couldn't do it. Same with, and that's Rodgers and Cutler. There's someone that. Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame quarterback. Jay Cutler, league average, slightly above league average quarterback. And that's the difference between the two. So my point is Jordan Love can lead the exact same way next year. If he's better at quarterback, he will be viewed just because we want
a better leader.
Because we want that. We want anyone good at something to also be a leader. And it's so important to us for no good reason.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is. Sometimes it times up. Sometimes it doesn't. Like I think Giannis is a great leader.
Strokes for different folks. Like some people really would respond to the quiet, confident type like Jordan Love. And some guys want to be a cheerleader or want a cheerleader to pump them up.
Yes, and the best leaders can be all those things.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean you have to be an elite leader. And so that's the trade-off here. You don't have to be that as well. But I wanted to run through some of the total yards rushing for quarterbacks. And I'm trying to even find Jordan Love's rushing stats this year.
Keep scrolling down.
I don't understand why it's so hard to find a quarterback's rushing stats this year. As I'm doing this, Ryan, can you find it?
I can pull up Jordan Love's rushing stats.
I keep on Googling and everything.
Wait, what
I'll
can you
get
not
Jordan
find?
Love's. I'll get Jordan Love's right now.
It's because it's so low, he doesn't show up in like the ratings. And then I'm trying to find stats, and you have to look through like advanced metric stats because like ESPN just throws up its passing stats, and then you go like full stats, and so you
Pro
find
Football Reference is a great site for looking at stats.
So StatMuse is where I got this from. So they only go down to 25 before it makes me pay money. So that's kind of an idea. Number one, Lamar Jackson. I want to just look at it like this.
I got the rushing stats for you if you need them for Jordan Love.
Well, just tell me when I get to them. Okay. So I'm going to write them down. Number one, Lamar Jackson, 915 yards. And we think he is a great QB, right?
Yeah.
All right. Jaden Daniels, 891. He's an ascending QB, correct?
Yes.
Jalen Hurts, 630. He's a good QB, correct?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's a little dicey, 572. He's at least above league average QB. That's where I'd put him. Like league average, or he's a league average QB, 572.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, 531, elite. Anthony Richardson's kind of the outlier here at 499. I don't know if he's going to turn out to be
That's just kind of his bag. He is a big physical guy.
Caleb Williams, 489. Bo Nix, 430. Drake May, 421. 4 rookies in the top 10. They understand pull it and run if we don't like what we see. Baker Mayfield, 378. Really good quarterback. Played in the playoffs.
What if I were to tell you right now, Jordan Love's career is less than Baker Mayfield's 378?
Then we have Brock Purdy. Known fleet of foot Brock Purdy, 323 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 307. Justin Herbert, 306. Justin Fields in 10 carries. 62 carries, 289 yards. Geno
He
Smith.
had 62 carries this year?
Yep. 62. But he was used a little bit.
Right, he's used as a running guy, but still.
Yes, Geno Smith, 272. Daniel Jones, 265. Bryce Young, 249. C.J. Stroud, 233. Sam Darnold, 212.
You're going to go through the entire NFL before I tell you where Jordan Love's at.
201. Will Levis, who played 12 games, 183. Russell Wilson, 155. Deshaun Watson, who has no working Achilles, 148.
7 games, by the way.
Spencer Rattler in 7 games, 146. And Malik Willis in 7 games. That's the right?
6 games.
It says 7. Oh, it says 7 here. I don't know. It must have popped in maybe for a play in some game. 138. So that's where it cuts off because I have to pay after that.
I can tell you what Jordan Love's is.
This is the only fans for Jordan Love.
Jordan Love had 15 games played, 25 carries for 83 yards, averaging 3.3 yards per carry.
Would you like to know where that ranked this season in the NFL? That's 34th, right behind Marcus Mariota and Mac Jones.
So I will say last year...
Mac Jones played 8 games, by the way.
What did Mariota play?
3.
2? Yeah.
3.
Last year, Jordan Love doubled the amount of carries. And this is just regular season.
Okay.
He had 17 games, obviously played. He had 50 rushing attempts for 247 yards. So he definitely decided he was going to sit and hold the ball and try and make a play 25 more times than last year if you're going to average it out.
Less games.
Slightly fewer games. 2 less games.
Yeah. Well, probably 3 when you count. He missed
the
a
2
couple-
half games. Yeah. Bears and Vikings.
Weird. So there's something to it. And you know what? If you have it ready before we go to break, I want to hear one more time from Mina Kimes on the Mina Kimes show with Lenny. Her and Dominique Foxworth talking about Jordan Love and his need to be more mobile to be a more effective QB.
I think Jordan Love's lack of mobility is a huge problem and one that needs to be an offseason priority for him and for this team. Because there were numerous points in this game where I was like, keep it. And he would hand it off. Josh Jacobs would get stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and it was wide open for him to keep. On the season, he has 5.5 rush yards per game. That's behind Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old, coming off of an Achilles. I went back and watched his longer scrambles. He looks fine. Look, he's not one of the premier dual threats in the NFL. He never will be. But, he looks fine running.
I mean, he's Mahomes-level athleticism at least. At least.
It's infuriating. So there's a lot of things Packers need to do, but I just wanted to emphasize that because it drove me crazy in this game, and it's been something that I've been annoyed by for a while.
One of my criticisms of him has been that he trusts his arm too much. And I meant it in that, I meant it in that.
Part of why I think he doesn't run.
Right. And I did. So I'm saying this, this is another aspect of that. I would say it as you know what? Maybe don't try that throw, but this guy trusts his arm too much.
You got 8 yards.
And he's going to try that throw. But this one is you trust your arm too much. Tuck it and keep it moving, which is, I feel like it's something that can be learned, though. Understanding that when you do that, your life gets easier, you know?
Watch every other quarterback who's been winning in the playoffs.
Well, and that's why I wanted to. That's what prompted me to look at the rushing stats for QBs. And those quarterbacks, outside of Anthony Richardson, and then Justin Fields at this point is, I guess, a backup, that those guys are not considered rushing quarterbacks. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. And you can chime in 844-770-3776 before we go to break here on the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. Matt, I want your thought on the other side. But I'd like someone to chime in describe Jordan Love's running style, whether it's attributing to a QB. He's big like Josh Allen, but he's not as athletic. And he's big like Ben Roethlisberger, but he moves better. Maybe prime Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, Ben was a 25, 26-year-old man, probably moved better than what we remember. We always fall into this sort of and I'm guilty of it too, you remember the guy at the end of their career. And at the end of his career, Roethlisberger basically looked like he was planted in the pocket at the end of every drive. But he still at times would pick up a few yards just by sheer, I don't even know, moving so slow that people were surprised that someone moved that slow on a football field. If you are able, please help people affected by the California wildfires in 2025. Donate at redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover. That's redcross.org/ESPN. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
I'm Dr. Jasmine Zapata, Chief Medical Officer for Community Health at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. Every year in the U.S., about 21,000 lung cancer deaths are caused by radon, an odorless, tasteless, and colorless gas. 1 in 10 Wisconsin homes has high levels of radon. Does yours? Call 1-888-LOW-RADON or visit lowradon.org to learn more. Test, fix, save a life.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Ordering pizza for game day can be a tough call to make. Do you get a pizza or are you craving some wings? At Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Get both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 sauces for only $19.99. An unbeatable value that can feed the whole crew. Perfect for game days, family nights, or any gathering. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, Matt Hamilton, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
Is this Running with the Devil?
It sure is. Van Halen.
Where'd this come from?
You were talking about running quarterbacks? Rushing quarterbacks?
Yeah.
I just was like, I haven't heard this song.
No, I dig it. And honestly, the first thing I thought was a little bit like we were going pole dancing.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's Motley. Come on.
I know, but
or to a dive bar, one of the two.
Yeah.
I got to actually, because of the dive bar of the week with Miller High Life, I found a dive bar playlist on Apple. Perfection. So
Yeah.
like, it is perfect. Primetime War Shine Behind the Glass. I'm Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page at Jim, Matt, and Molly. And at ESPN Madison is another way to get into the show. We are asking you, 844-770-3776. I want you to compare Jordan Love's running style to another QB that you've seen play over time. Because he seems like once he gets going, there is some speed and athleticism there. It takes some time to get going. I know Dominic Foxworth before, on the cut that we played a couple times during the show, said that Mahomes-level athleticism, but it's different. Mahomes, Rodgers, even stay within division quarterbacks you see, are more like, Wiley? Caleb Williams would be another
Shifty?
guy. Yeah, like you just can't get him down.
Elusive?
Yeah, and so I think if you put Caleb or any of those guys
Athletic?
in 40 yards dashes, they're not running. Jordan might win in a 50-yard dash. He might be, once he gets going, better, but in those short little bursts, they're better at that. Like, Jordan compares, in the division, he comps to Darnold and Goff. that they don't, but they still.
Darnold's pretty mobile, honestly. He can move when he needs to.
Yeah, but it still seems like it takes some time to get going. Chris Maniswitz Waters chimes in with Vince Young. Now, Vince Young was a better overall runner. He ran more.
Vince Young was a tank.
Now, we're not talking about ability. We're talking about style because Jordan runs so little.
I guess.
You got to look at big QBs.
I even feel like Vince Young, like he could get out and he could elude guys outside of the pocket. I mean, in college, that was his game.
Yes, but that's college. If that's.
Well, he wasn't good in the NFL, which is why.
But
I
I mean,
college.
like in college, a NFL athlete, which he clearly was, looks all world at times.
Could we say like maybe a Donovan McNabb?
McNabb seemed
big dude. He only rushed like 50 to 70 times
that big.
a
I
season.
thought he was like 6'1". Is he?
Well, I think his size was pretty big.
Vince Young is 6'5". What is Jordan Love? 6'4", I believe.
I think he's 6'3".
6'3", okay. On his profile it says 6'4". Pro Football Reference.
So 6'3".
Well, then we're going to take an inch off everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Honestly.
So we're just going to go with the standard.
How tall do you think Bryce Young is as tall as he's listed?
No, he's like 5'6".
Exactly.
McNabb was 6'2", 240.
Okay, still bigger QB, yeah.
So, yeah, he was... And, again, he wasn't... like a world beater when he rushed, but when he got going, he was tough to bring down, and he definitely looked to pass first. But I think he averaged throughout his career. I think he was kind of like last year, Jordan Love. He had 50 rushes for like 280 yards or 250 yards. Donovan McNabb's rushing, he averaged right between 40 and 70 rushes per game, and he was right around. He had 5.6 average rush yards per rush.
And the Green Bay Packers website lists Jordan Love as 6'4", 219. So he'd be 20 pounds lighter than Donovan McNabb, too.
And 2 inches taller.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But again, it's as far as how they run, Donovan McNabb got to get going downhill first. That's kind of the way Jordan Love seems, too. He doesn't seem like he's super shifty. And I don't think his acceleration is great, but I think his top speed is fine.
So I looked up a QB who I knew wasn't a great runner, but he was big, Dan Marino.
Dude, he had negative yards
87,
rushing.
87.
Yeah.
But I feel like Jordan Love's pacing for that.
I looked up. Well, no. Let's not be unfair. Jordan Love's already at 356 rushing yards on the career.
Okay.
Right? He's averaging 4 yards a rush.
So Marino averaged 4 yards per rush. He apparently didn't rush very much.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I feel like one time I saw him run, so it's in my head. Sadler says Michael Vick. Sorry, Sadler, no.
Michael Vick, I wish.
Maybe Michael Vick now.
Yeah.
We threw him out there.
Not even now. Michael Vick is still fast, I think.
He's one of those guys that's always going to be
Oh,
electric.
my God, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you see some of those players.
What about like Kaepernick? Just kidding. He had more rush yards against the Packers in one game.
He was a bigger QB. He was more willing to run.
He's a physical runner.
Yeah. And again, Jordan, he's lumbering, but he's not slow when he gets going. Like once and he was hard to bring down. We're going off the one run that he had in the playoff game. Eli Manning from Andy and Middleton might not be bad.
Jordan Love's 40 time. He ran it for the Packers, and they had him at the unofficial time was a 4.65.
Yeah, that's not very quick nowadays for a quarterback.
I mean, it's pretty good when 4.4 is like crazy fast.
No, nowadays bumping up. There's a lot of guys in that 4.35 range. Like I would say, for a quarterback, you're considered fast at 4.5. He's not slow, but 4.6 is not. But again, I think if it was a 50 or 60 yard dash for Jordan Love, then he would do better. It's the start for Jordan Love that's going to slow him up. But 4.6 something is not.
I mean, Jalen Hurts is 4.6.
Jalen Hurts is not quick. He just runs better. He runs more. But he also gets there faster. Like, again, I think Jordan Love's problem is more
in a 40, it's all about acceleration. I'm saying that's very... Jalen Hurts was a 4.59.
Well, and what was he?
4.65.
That's a big difference. That's a huge difference in the 40.
600ths of a second.
In the 40, that's a big difference.
But what I'm getting at
also, Jalen Hurts my point is he's developed the run more. Like he is now, like his skill, part of his skill set as a quarterback is a runner. I would bet that if Jordan Love had to run a 40 today, he is dramatically slower than what he ran. Like he's probably making a 4.7.
Andy and Middleton on the talking text line might have a good comp.
We said Eli Manning.
Eli?
Yeah. Someone, Phil in Wanakee said, who was it? Dante Culpepper?
I never watched Dante Culpepper. You guys would have to.
He was built.
I hate you.
He
He's
was
not
built,
that long ago, Dante.
Yeah.
Culpepper.
He was built like McNabb. He was he probably wasn't
Culpepper
more
might
than
not be bad.
6'2",
But as a runner,
but he was 240.
But if he ran the ball, like how did he look? Like what was his rushing style?
He was tough to bring down.
Tough. Okay.
He looked like a fullback.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was tough to bring down.
Jared Lorenzen type.
Malik Willis had a 4.37 40.
He is super fast.
Yeah. When I looked up quarterbacks 40 times, he was like the picture.
Yeah.
Was a Malik Willis in a Packer jersey. I was like, who the heck is this?
You want to talk about like college quarterbacks who would be incredible in NCAA 25? Malik Willis is like Michael Vick basically in that game. He might as well be.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, he's incredible.
844-770-3776. As I look, describe or comp Jordan Love as a runner to a past or current running back, quarterback. Right now,
I'm saying McNabb.
Dante Culpepper, 2,652 career rushing yards, 34 TDs, and he blew out his knee, so that probably slowed him down a little bit on the back end. But his best year, again, maybe this is what Jordan Love can be, because on average during Dante Culpepper's prime, around that looked like about 450. He had won 600, and everyone else was in the low 400s, so it probably averaged out to 450 for about 6 seasons there. And then he hurt his knee, and then that was that. So he would be kind of that good quarterback who runs, because that's where all these quarterbacks.
I think that's what you want him to aspire to be, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what he could get to.
And that's kind of what I'm feeling
with
McNabb, because I think as far as running style, they're not juking anyone out of their jockstrap. They're running forward, they're north and south, and they're going to get as many yards as they can. And Jordan Love, please slide, don't take the hit.
They're honestly similar build. So if Donovan McNabb is 6'2", 240, and Culpepper 6'4", 260, they're both big boys.
Yeah.
And so
Jordan Love 6'4", 220.
So that weight part does matter, because how much do you want them to? So
that's
works
more
against
for
him.
me is like how many shots you can absorb.
Well, again, back to that running style, that bigger quarterback running style, Vince Young as well. They take hits because they can't get down quick either.
Maybe.
So I think of these QBs. You don't remember big-time hits. How many big-time hits? You're the Aaron Rodgers stan. Do you remember Aaron Rodgers taking at any point?
Not a lot.
I don't remember. Not one comes to my head.
He got clocked. It might have even been against the Bears running for the pylon to get to the end zone.
Okay,
but as far as just running to get yards, no, he got out of bounds. Or
that was a choice. He's trying to go to the pylon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like he got his clock cleaned a couple times at the goal line.
Yeah,
but that's the
different,
only time I remember Aaron Rodgers thinking the juice is worth the squeeze, taking a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're talking about like when he's out and running and taking a big hit, or just like at all in the
just
pocket?
in general. I don't remember him getting smoked in the pocket.
The one
either.
that I remember, kind of iconic, is when I think it's Sean Lee or whatever the Cowboys linebacker was who sacked him right before he threw the pass down the sideline to Jared Cook. When he hit Jared Cook down the sideline in the playoff game.
But was he? And I guess the question I can't picture it. That wasn't. That again sounds like a choice though. Like again, like the goal line. I'm going to put my body at risk for that.
I can't think of anything like that. No,
that's what I mean. So like he's never was surprised and it was calculated to take that hit.
Yeah,
like because he knew he was going to get rocked when he had to make that throw or at the goal line. I think of Patrick Mahomes. I can't remember off the top of my head. Now Mahomes has been hit hard, just like Rodgers, but it always seemed to be calculated.
He trucked a guy this year against the Niners at the goal line.
Yes. They're just never surprised. That supreme awareness, but also the ability just to get down quick.
Yeah.
The second they feel it, just go down.
Yeah.
I mean, even Jalen did that. Maybe he slipped a little bit, but
he was surrounded by like 5 Packers. He's like, I might as well slide down.
Yeah.
I think I could probably get 1 or 2 more yards.
Honestly, when he slid, I was like, I feel like if he had another gear, he's gone. Like there was a hot second that if it was early in the year, he might have just said, I'm going to run, but I have the concussion. I don't want to risk missing the game.
It almost looked like the Packers surrounded him, assuming he was going to slide, and he was like, okay, I'll slide.
Right. It was like gentlemen's
we
agreement.
don't want, like, we're good. We're good here. We're good.
Do we need to kick Matt Hamilton out?
Yep.
It is that time.
All righty. Matt Hamilton is going to get out of the Everlight Solar Studio. We're going to have Minute to Win It coming up, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. 3 great locations in the Madison area. They got one in Verona. They got one in DeForest, and they got one in Madison. Whichever location you go to, it's going to be spectacular. You can go to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, have a great experience. You can carry it out. You can have them cater. You can dine in. Whatever it is, you're going to have a great time at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. We're going to give away a $25 and a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. All you have to do is pick the correct over-under of what we're going to set the over-under what we think Matt's going to do in this segment. And if you pick the correct one, you're going to get a $50 gift card. And if you get the other one, you're still getting $25. So you're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. What's the category?
So we're talking about rushing quarterback and the importance of pocket awareness, pocket mobility, all of that wrapped together. So we got to go with the top 10 most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL this season.
Okay.
So what do we want to set the over-under at?
We should get a few because I feel like I said some earlier. So
I feel like 5.5 is a good.
Yeah,
good
that's
line.
fair. I would have gone 6.5, but 5.5. Let's be nice to
Just looking at this list, there's going to be probably one or two on here that I think you'll be surprised by.
Okay.
Just are guys who we would not be thinking of.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll set it at 5.5.
Yep.
What callers?
Let's go. What is Jordan Love's rushing stats this year? Is it 83?
We'll go with 83. So caller 3 and 8.
Let's caller 3 and 8. Yeah.
Caller number 3 and caller number 8. You're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. You might even get a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. 844-770-3776. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Love Madison Volleyball makes its home debut Friday night at the UW Fieldhouse, a familiar spot for Sarah Franklin. The former Badger turned pro talked about making the jump to the next level, a day-by-day process for the 2023 National Player of the Year.
When you're going into a whole new level of volleyball, you're not going to be fantastic at the first go of it. You know, it's a new ball, it's new girls. So I think being able to kind of slow it down for myself and just being able to give myself some grace, but then still being able to be loose and going and attacking the ball and attacking the serve. So definitely taking it a little bit slower and not getting too ahead of myself.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelson, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen. They can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, Purchasing Manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
30 for 30 presents the New York Sack Exchange.
Plecko, Lyon, Salam, Gastineau.
If you hit a quarterback and if they got up, you didn't do your job.
They were a brotherhood.
There is no magic formula for controlling the New York Sack Exchange.
But brothers don't always play nice.
Flacco could not stand me.
I should have been waiting all day for you.
Well, get down in the stands.
I don't know what you were doing.
Out.
I'm still trying to forgive and forget.
Stream the New York Sack Exchange, now on ESPN+.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Life's busy, and Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're grabbing fresh coffee, a bakery treat, or a quick meal, Quick Trip is your go-to for quality and fast service. From clean restrooms to fresh groceries, easy meal options, and guaranteed fuel, we make your day easier. Plus, enjoy perks like free ATMs, free air for your tires, and sweet rewards with the Quick Rewards program. Everything you need in one stop, and always a friendly, see you next time, Quick Trip, where your day gets easier and better.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We're live from the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. Matt Hamilton back in studio. I like the Coors Light on your arm there. Looking good. Underneath your Milwaukee Bucks jersey there.
I was like, did I get a tattoo I'm not aware of? I would, by the way, Coors Light. If you want to throw me a bone, I'll get a Coors Light tattoo.
So you're saying if Coors Light would pay for you to get a Coors Light tattoo, you'd get it?
I mean, and then the marketing of it where me...
Well, then it has to be somewhere it could be seen all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I got a nice little spot right here.
Okay, there you go.
You think he's like he's too embarrassed about tattoos to show it off?
And just remember, it's my left arm, and when I sweep...
If you're Coors Light paying for it, you got to have it available all the time, so you can't get it like on the chest or anything.
What would you just get a can, or what would you get?
Well, I mean, they've got like this cool little the mountain.
Yeah,
would be kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
But then the mountain, they might not...
Here's the thing. I'm pretty sure if I had a straight up brand as a tattoo and I was playing in the Olympics, they'd make me tape over it.
You know what?
Because like logos aren't good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's the Michael Jordan covering up the Adidas, all that stuff.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, a little bit. That was more Michael Jordan not wanting to represent Adidas. I'm saying the Olympics is very, very strict about what you're allowed. Like last Olympic go around, I had a pair of shoes that came with lace locks, which are just like basically ornaments for your laces. The company that gave them to me put their custom like Blitz branded lace locks on it. I didn't even realize it. And then like after my fourth game, they're like, "Hey, these tiny little things, they got to go. That's advertising." And I was like, "I didn't even know." So like they're strict and they will see it.
With all due respect to the Olympics, they give off very similar NCAA vibes, where it's more of like, let's just make sure we make all the money,
100%.
and then you can have some.
100%.
Yeah, and we've all seen plenty of documentaries about the Olympic committees.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with Matt's play. All right, let's go to Minute to Win It.
Will they beat the odds
I say everything with pure confidence, whether I think I'm totally right or not.
or crumble under pressure?
I legitimately know one of these. I legitimately have one.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
Yes, Matt Hamilton. And since we're talking about Russian quarterbacks, quarterbacks with the most pocket presence, most poise, you got to look at the quarterbacks who did the worst in the pocket this season, or who were the worst protected, possibly. So it's the 10 most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL this season.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. Your timer starts now.
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, number 1, with 68.
We said the second most. It wasn't Patrick. Let's go Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, not
on the list.
In the top 10.
Sacked quarterbacks. Who? Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, also not on the list.
Oh, no.
Bryce Young, actually pretty elusive.
Right.
And he didn't play that many games.
Man, was it? I don't want to say Darnold. Geno
Smith is number 4.
Okay.
55 sacks.
Man, we definitely said second most, and like we were talking about it earlier, and I can't remember who it was. I don't think Jordan Love's on the list. Kyler's pretty sneaky. Baker? No.
Baker Mayfield.
Let's go.
Is number 8 on the list.
Oh, thank gosh. Derek Carr got injured, so he didn't play the full time, but I feel like his offense.
Derek Carr, like you said, did not play enough this season.
What did he end up with?
3.
Matt ended up with 3. Derek Carr sacks. He's not even showing up on this list. He did not play much at all.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold was the name you're looking at number 2, by the way.
It was number 2?
It was.
Dang it. I know we talked.
Early, yeah.
I know. And I was trying to think of it. I was like, no, it wasn't Sam Darnold, was it?
57 sacks, indeed.
Dang.
Second
Sam
most.
Darnold.
We set it at 5.5.
Yeah.
We thought we could get over half.
I honestly thought, I think 5.5 was good. I should have said Sam Darnold.
That
and with
been 4.
a touch more time.
Did you say Joe Burrow?
No, he did not. Joe Burrow's 5.
Yeah, that team was...
You had to think of the narratives of like bad offensive lines.
Yeah, I was trying to, and I just was blanking on some of these teams and their... I was trying to steer clear of elite quarterbacks because they tend to not get sacked.
One rising elite quarterback, who we talked about as one of the better Russian quarterbacks, Jane Daniels, tied for 5th, actually.
See, he seemed too sneaky. He was on the tip of my tongue at 1.2.
But if those
48
young guys,
sacks.
Drake May could have been up there too, just for a battle line.
Oh, Bo Nix, maybe?
I think Drake May missed a few games. He was at 14 on the list with 34 sacks.
He played in 13 games, so about a sack a game. Okay.
Yeah.
How about, was Bo on that list?
Bo Nix? No, he was really well protected this year.
Okay.
That was part of why they were so good.
All right, let's just run through it top to bottom.
So I mentioned the top 6 technically because we got Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels tied at 5th. At 7th is Justin Herbert, 45 sacks this season. And then you mentioned Baker Mayfield. He's tied for 8th with one Will Levis at 41.
Okay.
I don't know how many games Levis played, but definitely not as much as Baker
Well, he
Mayfield.
had 9 against the Packers, so I guess that wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Didn't the Bears kind of lit him up too, right, Jim?
Who's that?
Levis.
Yeah, it was really early in the year, but yeah, I think so.
I felt like every game early in the year, he was just under assault. It felt like what happened to Sam Darnold against the Rams was every Titans game this year.
Yeah,
Who's number 4?
Remember, because Will Levis
Gino.
had the famous threw a pick 6 against the Bears
Oh,
and
yeah.
fell to his knees, put his hand behind his head.
Surrender Cobra, yeah. That was an awesome.
All right.
And then 10th on the list is actually the guy who's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, with 40 sacks this year.
How is he 10th on the list and most sacked in the NFL?
NFL history.
NFL history.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, okay.
Yes. NFL
Dang.
history. 40 sacks this year for New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. And actually tied at 10th. So I guess there's technically 11 quarterbacks on this list. Jalen Hurts was on there too.
Man,
Also 40.
I came in here like fishing, trying to get Jim to tip his hand a little bit there. I was like, oh, it's NCAA championship game next Monday. Maybe it's NCAA champions. Then I was like, maybe it's Bucks have probably played about 10 games this year. Maybe it's their last 10 opponents.
About 10 games this year?
Yeah.
This physical
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
in
this
January.
calendar year. Okay.
Yeah, calendar
okay.
year.
Yes, fair.
Uh,
okay.
Yeah, so I was fishing, and Jim was not giving it up at all.
Jim's good poker face.
Yes.
Yeah, he had a good poker face there. Oh, man, rushing. Obviously. Duh, we were talking about it today. That's so dumb, Matt.
Well, we were going to do rushing
Idiot.
yards. Yeah, we were, and then we decided on sacks. But, yeah, I mean, I think good quarterbacks get sacked. The one question I had for you, Matt, before we go to break is Aaron Rodgers. Do you think he's going to play or not, but do you think him being behind Brett Favre by 8 touchdowns will have any effect in his decision to come back? Because Brett Favre, I believe, has 508, and Aaron Rodgers, I think, hit 500. Maybe it's 501, but he's definitely behind.
It's 502.
502, so he threw that game. So he's behind Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Did you just know that off the top of your head?
Of course.
Well, I knew it the other day. We talked about last week, which is dumb. Last week, I remember this weird little tidbit, but I couldn't remember 40 minutes ago we talked about Sam Darnold being the second most sacked quarterback.
I feel like we did like an Aaron Rodgers clothing size top 10 thing. He'd be like, his shoe size is this, his belt size is this.
42,
true.
42 long.
Yeah, his
He knows his inseam.
his
everything.
inseam, the chest size, bicep, neck width,
Yeah.
size head for like a fitted hat.
So
Correct
I do
dosage.
think Aaron Rodgers is petty, but I think right now he's truly deciding whether he wants to play football.
Well, I agree, but do you think it factors in at all?
I mean,
That's a yes.
I don't know. I don't think
That's
so.
a yes. This
I
is
don't
Jim
think
Matt
so.
and I presented by Coors Light.
No.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment. Complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more. Go to celebrationsentertainment.com and get started today. Green Bay Packers offseason starting early as they lost the Eagles in the first round of the playoffs this year. But Matt LaFleur's press conference yesterday had plenty of news and notes coming into today's conversation on 100.5. Top of the mind was him saying that Jordan Love needs to become a more vocal leader heading into his third season as a starter.
I think the next step is just to continue to evolve as a vocal leader. I think that just kind of comes with the position naturally, and I think he's taken steps to get there, but I think he can really demand a lot.
And we're demanding a lot here on 100.5 ESPN. Is on the second hour. Jim, Matt, and Molly will continue discussing what Jordan Love needs to improve in order to help the Packers take the next step next season. Also, head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for all your green and gold off-season coverage. Basketball, Wisconsin got a 70-68 win against Ohio State last night. Bucks winning 130-115 against the Kings. Bucks back at it tonight against the Magic, 7 p.m. tip-off.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
We got Homer, Matt Hamilton.
Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
And then Contrary.
Total.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Mer.
I'm the flower, it's
Mister.
Could it be possible you guys are the best show in ESPN Wisconsin, the whole state?
Yeah, obviously. It's
possible. Anything's possible.
You're the best.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
Hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. I am Jim Rutledge. He is Matt Hamilton. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
I do have the power to make Primetime Lower Shine. Push that button. And you can get into the show on the Carlos Talking text line 844-770-3776. List is more. We had some people chiming in on running styles for Jordan Love. The 480 chimes in with Phillip Rivers. And then he put broken collarbone, question mark.
You guys were asking about times where Aaron Rodgers got out of the pocket and tried to run for extended play. And when he took the broken collarbone against the Vikings.
That was just like a bootleg.
Yeah, he tried to run out of the pocket and extend a play, I guess. So it's
right.
similar to what
but
we were talking about.
I wouldn't call it a rush.
No, it wasn't a rush.
And then the Bears one was also a sack.
Yeah.
It was in the backfield.
Yeah, and
it's not like he took a shot. Like, we're talking about taking
fall.
Shots on a rush.
The Bears one is what I can remember is the bad fall. I can't remember the other one.
Which bad?
Anthony Barr?
Anthony Barr, he got rid of it, and then it looked like it was a little bit late to throw him to the ground.
And then, he kind of
yeah, and he landed kind of awkwardly.
That was when the NFL changed all of their quarterback sacking rules, remember?
Yeah.
That offseason, you couldn't touch quarterbacks anymore.
Because Shea McClellan.
Was that the first game of the year, too?
That was early. It was like game 4.
Was it that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because Shea McClellan definitely looked far more like just bad luck. That was more of Shea took him to the ground, Aaron's arm was in a weird spot, and that broke. So we did ask you to describe Jordan Love's rushing style because we have learned that he is not a good runner, but worse than we thought is what we've really learned, that he is really not out there running the ball. We did have Chris chime in on YouTube with Matty Ice, Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked it up. Matt Ryan, 6'4", 200 pounds. Jordan Love, 6'4", 219. But Matt Ryan's 40 time, what did you say Jordan Love's was?
4.46.
4.46?
No, 4.56.
No, 4.64.
Was that it?
Yes.
Matt's just making up numbers.
He is 4.35. He's the fastest quarterback in the NFL.
He's fast kid.
3.9.
Well, Matt Ryan's 40 time was 4.89.
Okay.
So it's pretty slow.
That's very slow.
It is. Honestly, though, Matt Ryan, for a lot of reasons, really starting to comp for Jordan Love. Call him Matt Ryan 2.0. And that's not a knock. Matt Ryan is a fringe Hall of Fame quarterback. And
He's
he
an
will
MVP?
be a Atlanta Falcons Hall of Fame quarterback. And he got the Atlanta Falcons to a Super Bowl.
He was so good, the Hawks might put him in the Hall of Fame, too.
Did I say Hawks?
You almost did.
Okay.
The Patriots might put him in their Hall of Fame, too.
True. But, if you can chime in on this, 844-770-3776 with that comp. It's the Carlos Talking text line. It's an unofficial side limit poll question. Would you be disappointed if Jordan Love had a Matt Ryan type career?
No. He would have an MVP and he would make it to one Super Bowl, which realistically, not every quarterback makes it to a Super Bowl. So I would be pretty thrilled. Now, if we had a 23-point lead and we lost that lead, I'd be a little upset.
And let's go. Let's say let's just go with 4 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro. You don't know what the team success will be. Would you be fine with that for him? And 1 MVP? Because team success has so many other aspects to it. So
right, I guess that would be more on Goody. Like, again, if you have an MVP guy
62
and you don't get there,
almost 63,000 career passing
no,
yards.
I think
66%.
I think I would be pretty happy with the Jordan Love.
You should be. That's
move off Aaron Rodgers for Jordan Love if he ends up being like a Matt Ryan.
Right, because the Aaron Rodgers thing, like, let's just assume he blows his ACL or his Achilles out regardless, and he was spiraling as a person with the Packers,
Right.
and then made worse with the Jets. But Aaron Rodgers' play lowers the expectation for what Jordan Love needs to be. So if Aaron Rodgers had gone to New York and won an MVP or won a Super Bowl, then it's like, well, if you moved off of that guy, Jordan Love better be the next Aaron Rodgers. If you moved off a aging QB who looks cooked and Jordan Love turns
cooked all year,
and Jordan Love turns into a 10, I don't know exactly the prime for Matt Ryan, but once he played there, 23 to age 37, but he didn't play at Atlanta at age 37, 36. So 13-year career, you're not going to get that out of, let's go 10 years. If Jordan Love gets 10 years, because he started later in his career. So if you just took Matt Ryan's stats over the age of
25 to 35, he could
26 to 36, that's kind of when Ryan was out. So like, let's just say in Jordan Love's 26 right now. So like 25 to 35, 36, 10, 11 years, and you get Matt Ryan type production.
I think you're pretty happy with that as a Packer fan.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now,
844-770-3776. Yeah, that's just a little bit harder to nail down. And AC and Tauscher chimes in awfully generous, comparing Love as Matt Ryan. I wish. Good luck. Go Pack Go. And he's a Packers fan, so he's not.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly. Matt Ryan had a couple 4,000+ years. Like Matt Ryan, I don't know if Jordan Love is going to quite be.
Matt Ryan had some darn near 5,000. If Matt Ryan played 17 games, he would have at least 2 5,000-yard passing seasons.
And I don't know if Jordan Love's ever going to be that guy.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right.
You don't have to be that guy to get to a Super Bowl. Again, Matt Ryan's crime was losing to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like the Michael Jordan thing. Like Mahomes, Brady, who else? Like Manning even. Like you lose those guys, you're like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You guys? I want to switch gears here.
Even with a lead like that, like, what are you going to do? It's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Looking at the playoffs here, and we can get to this a little bit later, but I wanted to ask, like, what your thoughts are, because I'm going to be gone on Friday as far as how you're rooting. Like, for an example here, there's a little bit of fun for me every time the Chiefs and Mahomes wins, because it's less fun now because Rodgers just cooked and Mahomes has already passed him.
Chiefs win.
But I get joy out of that.
Okay.
And so, because it's a little dig of, like, Mahomes is doing more already in Kansas City than Aaron Rodgers ever did in Green Bay. There's like little moral victories in my head.
Okay.
And I also kind of want Andy Reid and Mahomes to pass Belichick and Brady. Now I'm kind of rooting for that because I'd like to be able to see that. Like, that'd be crazy. Like
twice in your lifetime, see one team just dominate the Super Bowl.
But still, that domination is unique. It's still special.
Totally, but it lessens the specialness of Tom Brady's career if Patrick Mahomes does it. Literally, with it, like they overlap each other.
I'm fine with that.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying that
like obviously, like Jane Daniels, Mark likes to pick on the Bears, but like, who's pretty happy with their rookie QBs? Denver and Washington, who don't have to, and CJ Stroud on a rookie scale deal too.
Yeah.
So like the quarterback's left right now.
So you really want a rookie scaled quarterback to get to the Super Bowl?
I wouldn't hate it. Because it would continue. I think it's like there would be 10 out of the last 11 years. And C.J. Stroud, I believe, is still on rookie scale deal. He's only second year.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that means he has to beat the Chiefs. So that's a little different. But if it ends up being...
Yeah, you're going to need someone from the NFC.
But if it ends up being Mahomes and Daniels, and Mahomes wins...
You really think Daniels is going to be able to get through this next game? What, the Bills, right?
No, that's why I use C.J. Stroud. But let's look at the play. I mean, look at the teams that are left.
What was it?
You had... How many playoff teams had QBs? So you
had rookie scale deals?
Yeah. You had the Texans.
Yeah.
And you had Broncos, and you had
Commanders.
Washington. Is that it?
I believe so. Yeah. The Vikings technically have a quarterback on a rookie
well,
scale
that's what I was
deal,
going to go to. Then you got Sam and Baker on
team friendly deals.
Because remember, the magic number is less than 10% of the salary cap. unless you're Mahomes or Tom Brady, you're not winning the Super Bowl. And those guys would fall underneath it.
Oh, you know who else was not paying their quarterback much at all? Pittsburgh Steelers.
True, yes. Yeah.
Well, that's because the Broncos were still paying him.
That's true. That's a great point.
And Fields would have still been on his rookie deal.
Is he?
Yeah, he didn't pick up his option, so now he's a free agent. He's in the last year of it, so it would be higher end, but still not crazy.
Was he only in his 4th year?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was his 4th year, yeah.
Feels like he's been around for like 6.
Yeah, he started 9 games as a rookie, I believe.
Yeah.
And hurt, but played a lot.
It was just so much discourse around him. It felt like a long time.
He was a hard one to figure out.
Hard nut to crack.
Hard guy to tackle. Hard.
I'm a nut.
Buckeye.
Yeah.
Former Buckeye. To tackle.
I'm a nut.
I am a nut for carb and world health. Whether it's semaglutide, the GLP-1 that everyone's trying to get on now, but Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, he's the expert. They have the gym. They have the dietary suggestions for you, and they have a doctor to make sure that this is right for you. So there's literally no other place in the Madison area to consider thinking of when you're looking for semaglutide or GLP-1. So that's the only call you need to make, is that's Carb and World Health. But they also have hormone optimization, testosterone increase, and that one is about getting you to optimal levels, not optimal levels for your age. Nobody wants to be for their age. That's what your doctor's going to tell you. They're going to be like, oh, well, you're old. You're 55 years old, so, like, it's fine. But nobody wants to be just fine. You want to have the testosterone you had in your 30s and 40s. And so that's what they want to do. They want to make sure you can gain muscle and have that awareness and have everything that testosterone brings. And you don't need to be aging out of testosterone in your 50s and 60s. Or
Hubba.
Okay. CarVerWorldHealth.com. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Are you frustrated because you can't seem to lose that unwanted weight or keep it off long term? It may not be your fault. Your metabolism might be sabotaging your results. We found that clients on average had a metabolic age 27 years older than their actual age. If that's you, how much harder would it be to lose or maintain your weight? At Madison Weight Loss, our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. To learn how our clients on average lowered their metabolic age by 17 years, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Struggling to find a weight loss program that really works for you? I was, until I found Madison Weight Loss. In 60 days, I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing my diet.
Now is the time to end the cycle of weight gain and frustration. You could lose 20 to 30 pounds in 60 days and be empowered with the proven tools to keep it off once and for all. You can do the program in person or virtually from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Portis, and I love playing basketball in Milwaukee. When I drive down the lane, I move fast and make sudden moves to drive to the hoop and score. But when I'm behind the wheel in the driving lane, I control my drive. I don't speed or make sudden movements. Speeding and reckless driving are the leading causes of traffic injuries and deaths in Wisconsin. Do what I do. Control your drive. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Wisconsin DOT.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
We're going to skate to one song only.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. And we are going to get to throwing stones in a minute. And yesterday we threw a stone at the jerk from Philadelphia who got fired from his job and kicked out of the stadium. Good on the Eagles, though, because they hooked up the fan who was verbally assaulted with some Packers gear, which is a good
Do you think the Packers made the Eagles pay for it? Or do you think that there's like enough like camaraderie within the NFL and they're like, hey,
I feel like there could be like a jersey swap within the
Yeah,
the
or
trade,
something like that, yeah.
within the NFL, like the game shops, that kind of stuff. With what am I trying to think of? The game stores,
pro
shops. Thank you. Yes, we're trying to sell all the gear and everything. So, well, I would imagine that. I mean, if I was the Eagles, I'd give her a personalized jersey.
You would, yeah.
And if that's what you want, you probably go like, hey, what do you want? Do you want a
They'll go above and
personalized
beyond.
jersey? Do you want Jordan Love? What do you want?
I don't think they're
with
worried
Goody
about
as
the cost.
GM, I don't know what jersey I would want the most on this Packer team because you never know who's going to be on the team. Once they turn 28, they're gone.
It's pretty tied to Jordan Love.
Well, I got one now.
Oh, okay. Well, then, what about her? We're not talking about Matt Hamilton.
She was wearing a Jordan Love jersey.
Was she actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she
Good
didn't
for
need
her.
a Jordan Love jersey unless she wants like another, like the away jersey or like the black alternate like I got.
Or the
that
green
salute to
alternate?
service one.
The green alternates?
With the yellow numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Those
I guess. I mean, yeah, Jordan Love is going to be around for at least the next 4 years.
Yeah. Or just wait and give her, the Green Bay Packers Super Bowl trophy or Super Bowl jersey when they wear it in the Super Bowl.
Which Super Bowl is that? You want to put a number on it?
What number is this year?
I did
forget.
It's 53. No.
No, it's higher than that. No, I'll just say 61 arbitrarily.
So I was gonna, I made a joke in the ESPN Madison meeting. I forgot what it was for the other day. Because someone said their favorite sports memory was the Packers winning the Super Bowl when they were young, and I said that it's kind of starting to get. It's not 85 Bears, but I think in February it's 15 years, 14 seasons, I believe. Is that
14
right?
seasons in February.
Okay, but I thought the date was.
It was the 2010 season, but it was the Super Bowl happened in 2011.
Okay, gotcha. So it's been a long time.
Because remember that was what everyone was predicting is like 14 years between the previous Super Bowls, and that's why it was going to happen this year. That's what everyone was saying.
So I'm asking this question.
59.
With respect.
59 this year.
Yeah.
It'll be 61.
I'm asking this question with respect to really anyone. At what point do you drop, obviously you have the Super Bowls, but at what point does the title fade? Like, I don't really, the Cubs, I kind of let it go now. Like, the World Series was 2016, I believe.
Yeah, you don't even know?
It's hard to remember. I'm old now.
You're a Cubs fan.
I could tell you the whole roster, the year.
It was 2016, yes.
Yeah, the whole, I could give you the whole final play-by-play. The actual year is a little bit dicier. It wasn't a good year. And so, or the next couple. But regardless, that one sticks in my head, but I don't do it anymore. Now we're pushing not quite 10 years, but I can't really laud that. I mean, I still do it once in a while. Like, at least we got one, but realistically, it's kind of lost its luster. So at what point do you have to let the ring go? Let the title
Never.
go?
I still talk about Bart Starrs.
I mean, I'm not saying you don't enjoy it, but I'm saying that you can't flex it with it anymore. Like, at what point do you stop flexing about a specific title?
It really depends on who I'm talking to. Viking fans, anytime I want. Because we at least got a couple.
Yeah, let's throw some stones on this.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, Some takes are cooler than others.
You know this kid is as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Some opinions are just cooler than the rest.
That was cooler than being cool.
And if you keep it chill, then it's a cold take.
Chill out. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
I'm always the coldest.
This is Throwing Stones, presented by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's chillest Kia dealership.
So talking about the flex, and they said you want to flex on a Vikings fan, but that's kind of my point. If there is a 14-year-old Vikings fan, they have had not that dissimilar of an experience as far as Super Bowls and playoffs than the Packers. So like a 14-year-old Packer fan, can they really laud a Super Bowl they weren't even alive for over another Viking fan? They've had the same fan existence.
Yes, because history is what defines us, and history repeats itself. And
so the Patriots can then laud all their rings over you.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, really, it's anyone with, if you've got more rings than the other team, you can still bring it up.
What about as a fan base? So I get to laud all my rings as a fan? Like I got 6 with the Bulls, and I got the Cubs title.
I mean, you do.
And I was 6 when the Bears won the Super Bowl, so I got all those.
You do. You were like, I was a Michael Jordan fan.
Yeah, but I don't come in and be
Ryan, he hasn't done it lately, but he used to bring up the Bulls and
only when you guys
comparing Wisconsin.
Yeah, when you guys
exactly.
Get,
so since I was lauding it, you used your
I feel but my point
is,
I feel disingenuous doing it, and I'm
you didn't seem disingenuous
because you guys are being disingenuous. So then I'm matching you
no,
back.
I'm
like if you're
always
I'm
genuine.
gonna match your energy, and if you're gonna bring false titles, I'll bring false titles.
They're not false. Your 6 are real. My 4 are real.
But they're old as hell.
Sure, but they did it.
Jordan was playing janitors. Come on.
What 4 do you have?
The 2 to start, Brett Favre's.
You weren't alive for those. You can't count those. I'm not counting.
Packer fans, take them. You're lucky I don't take the world championships prior to that.
The 1930s and 40s.
It doesn't help me. It would help me have even more over you because the Bears had a lot of world titles. I'm not counting those.
I'm not counting them either. I'm only counting Super Bowls, and they have 4.
Should we put this out as a poll question here? Can you count titles for do titles count for your team? Like, I don't know how to word this.
Yes,
if you weren't alive, you don't get the flex.
Can you
on the
laud titles for your team from before you were born?
Yes.
Yes.
No, you cannot.
Yes, you can.
Do you like it when the Yankees or like Lakers fans do it?
It's totally merited. You're a fan of a team. You adopt their entire history.
The Knicks are not a better organization than the Bucks.
Knicks? Did they have a ton of championships back?
I feel like they got 2.
I think the last time they won is 72.
Yeah, I know, but I think they have 1 more. I think they have 2 total.
Oh, they have 1 more than the Bucks?
Yes. So that's
sure, there's caveats to it. Like, well, you weren't alive for it. It's like, sure, that's fair in the argument.
By that flex.
But at the same time, the Packers are 4-time Super Bowl champs, and you can't take that away from me whether I got to watch 2 out of the 4 or not.
It didn't happen to you. You're not taking it away. You didn't experience it.
No, I'm a fan of the Packers, and an owner. So every win that they have gotten in the Super Bowl counts towards my flex.
Your Honor, I think this is I object because if we're having an argument about
overruled,
if we're having an argument about the greatest franchises, then that is fair. If we're having an argument about fan experience, about being a Vikings fan or a Packers fan, a 14-year-old Packers fan and a 14-year-old Vikings fan have the same damn existence. You know who's really happy as a 14-year-old fan? A Lions fan.
Yeah.
They're living the sweet life.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't reference history.
You're probably also not really caring until about 2 or 3 years ago.
Same reason I say.
I mean, just in general in sports.
Jim, it's the same reason I say United States is back-to-back World War champs. I wasn't around for either of them, but I'm sure as heck lauding it.
We tried to do war scores now?
I mean,
they haven't done well in the recent ones.
Well, you know.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I'm going back to the ones I want.
The ones we've been alive for.
I'm just picking the one I'm choosing.
When you've only got 1 loss, of course you're gonna bring up the scores and the records.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of, but you get what I'm coming from. That it is funny to me if a 14-year-old Packer fan is trying to talk trash to a 14-year-old Viking fan. Neither one of them got titles.
What if it's a 50-year-old American and a 45-year-old Brit and being like, "Hey, we still beat you twice."
Were they in the war?
No, but
I'm sorry.
It was our people.
I will say this: you don't get to claim we unless you were doing it.
It was our fan base, the American fan base.
No,
we are back-to-back World War champs.
Our armed services and those heroes are 2-0.
Can I not?
You weren't even a thought.
Can I not claim the Miracle on Ice if I'm trying to get into it with a Russian?
Are you talking about my Miracle on Ice or Miracle on Ice?
Matt Hamilton's an obvious. Yes, I'm talking about the Miracle on Ice.
You can't feel good about it.
Why not?
The further back you go, it doesn't feel good.
The movie?
Maybe for you, I think it feels equally good. I'm thrilled with bringing up the first and second Super Bowl ever being
I'll
Packers
give you guys
victories.
this because Packer fans love to do the 80, Bears fans hold on to 85 Bears, but you're holding on to teams you weren't even alive for.
Yeah, but I also got I got two that I was alive for. I was alive for Brett Favre taking down the Patriots, and I was alive for Aaron Rodgers taking down the Steelers.
I know, but you're trying to loop in all four.
I certainly am going to, because I'm a Packer fan, dang it.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
You feel very Green Bay to me right now, I'll tell you that. I would assume David Kaplan is not coming up, so we'll pay that bet off next week. Because look, and you guys can get on me for it all you want as fans. I'm not doing this ungodly hot sauce. I am someone who doesn't necessarily love to fly. I'm already going to be tense. I don't need to add whatever this is going to do to my stomach to the tenseness. Because I'm also leaving super early on Friday morning, so I just don't need that in my life. I have to get the kids up at 5.
But what is the flight?
7:10.
7. That is early. That's tough.
Wait, you better hope they're packed before they leave.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Well, we're going to Madison.
Before they leave?
Well, yeah, before they wake up.
Yeah, before
they're not packed. Yeah.
No, the whole car and everything will be packed the night before. We'll wake them up right as we're leaving.
Okay.
I feel like we could have something here, like an hour before boarding for Madison.
Yeah, I try to be through security
an hour before.
with an hour.
Okay.
So I'm like 15
in Madison.
And I've got TSA pre-check.
You're a nervous flyer.
What do you need TSA pre-check for in Madison?
Dude, I've showed up an hour early, and like when everyone else is trying to get on the same flight, that's the normal line.
I've seen lines at GameStop that are longer than that. Come on.
The
Get outta
longest
here.
line I've ever ran into I'm jinxing myself now. Madison was like literally when I hit the glass of the door. Like that's the farthest.
And it's snakes, you know?
Yeah, right. But still, that's not that. That's 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so nervous. I got TSA. Well, first of all, I got global entry, so when I come back into the U.S., I don't have to deal with the custom line.
Yeah.
When you have global entry, you get TSA pre-check.
Okay.
It's really great, especially when I'm flying out of like Denver, which is the worst airport on the planet.
No, don't get me wrong. O'Hare or the other ones, I'm looking 3-4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Easy, because there's so many more things that could go wrong.
Yeah,
Orlando
right.
Airport
Madison is quick, but
we're also in
again,
Madison, and I was there last time I was there. Someone was like, "Hey, can I get in front? I got to get my flight."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am a little bit of a nervous flyer, or
As
not
far as
nervous,
getting there,
but I've missed flights. Actually, I didn't tell you guys this. I probably should have.
All right, tell us on the other side.
Yeah,
but,
I got a good one.
The Adam and Madison chimes in with Homo erectus outlasted Homo sapiens, baby. And you're never letting anything go?
Well, it's the other way around. Homo sapiens outlasted Homo erectus. We're Homo sapiens now. Homo erectus died out.
Okay.
Hey,
Adam and
it's close
Madison got
enough.
it backwards.
That's okay, Adam.
So, Adam, to your question, Matt does claim that. This
Yes,
is Jim, Matt,
heck yeah, I do.
Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life
at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? WisCaregiver.com gets you started. Choose between 2 great options. Become a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. Training is free, plus earn a $500 bonus. It's easy to start your new career. Learn more at WisCaregiver.com.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
No sleep till!
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. No Molly. She's out with babies. Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We have a one-sided unlimited poll question. What will help the Packers more? Jordan Love becoming better at QB or better at leadership? 84% of you said QB play, which I just wanted to do for a point. And then we have a poll. Is this up at Jim, Matt, and Molly?
This is an at Jim, Matt, and Molly siding unlimited poll question.
Alrighty, so I got to bring up our Twitter here to get the other one here because we're asking you about flexing with rings that you weren't alive for. And we are asking the question, as a fan, are you allowed to laud your team's championships if they happen before you were born? Right now it is 50-50, but it's very early in the voting. That's our second siding unlimited poll question. Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you. 844-770-3776. The Adam of Madison has a text in there. Can you confirm that text before
I'm seeing that per Bleacher Report. Yeah, I'll have to confirm
so we won't bring it to the air with Metro Kia breaking news until we see the news there. But and then Ryan, Psychedelic Advisor chimes in. I just woke up, slept in all day. It was my day off, so I'll have to listen to the podcast. So thanks, Ryan. Thanks for giving us the update on your life.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, too.
I do think we should be able to give this Metro Kia status. This is from Albert Breer, who is a well-respected reporter for Sports Illustrated, I believe, and other publications. Per source, the Jets have requested to interview Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley for their head coach job. The Jersey native has 4 years of head coaching experience at Boston College and led a top 5 unit this year. Looks like that one happens end of this week, Breer says.
I would say that would be worst-case scenario for the Packers, that they had a successful season with an improved defense and they lose their coordinator immediately. As opposed to, we had this discussion to start the year that if the Packers made a Super Bowl run, what would it be? So that is Metro Kia breaking news, brought to you by the Metro family of dealerships, Metro Kia and Metro Ford, over on the east side of Madison. Madison's trusted Kia and Ford dealerships. And so that's interesting. You can react to that, which we should react to. 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless talking text line. This is more breaking news, and shout out to Adam Madison for shooting that through on the talking text line. The Jets have requested an interview with Jeff Hafley to be their head coach, per Albert Breer.
Man, he's coming from Boston too, right? Like he was coaching there last.
And the head coaching experience, I think, will matter.
Yeah. Interesting.
I kind of forgot about that when I thought about him as a candidate, was that if he's successful on defense and he has head coaching experience, even at the college level, that does give him a leg up on some other coaches.
Mm-hmm. I hate this. Anyway, I got a travel story for you.
What's your reaction?
No, I don't want the reaction. I had this travel story that I was all queued up and excited to tell you.
Right.
I mean, the reaction about Hafley, that sucks. Like, I think another year in this system, this Packers defense is going to look better. They're going to get the right players. I feel like Hafley sees the gaps in his defense and is going to be able to make suggestions to Goody for guys that he thinks might fit, whether they're free agents or rookies in the draft. And, I don't want to see it go because, look at Joe Barry. No one offered him a head coaching job. And we had this middling defense that liked to bend and not break. Well, they broke my heart plenty of times. And now Jeff Hafley is this, literally, especially the way the last game went, was the shining light of hope with this Packers team because the defense looked like they were grinding out there, and they looked pretty good. And to lose Hafley would be upsetting. So there's my reaction.
Now, I'll share your story.
Now, classic Matt Hamilton, not paying full attention. I booked my flight for Arizona last week, 2 weeks prior to the trip, right? I assumed I was flying on the red eye. I called Delta 11 o'clock. I was like, hey, I'm flying at 12:30 today. I'm trying to use one of my regional upgrades so I can fly first class on the way home. They're like, we have to put you on the wait list, which I thought was a little weird. Like, I understand how it works, that they try and sell the ticket first, and if they don't sell it, they can give it to somebody who's using an upgrade. But they said wait list. And I was like, I'm literally about to step on the ice. I can't pay much more attention to this. So we play our games, we finish, watch some football in the afternoon. I've got a 12:30 flight, and I go to the airport. Mm-hmm. I've gotten notifications from Delta on my phone during the day, and I was like, I've gotten some weird ones before, so I didn't think anything of it. I go to check in, and they're like, your flight left 12 hours ago.
Oh, God.
I was like, well, do you have a red eye that I can make? And fortunately, since I like to go to the airport an hour and a half early for my 12:30 flight, so I was there at 11, they're like, actually, you could probably still make the 12 o'clock red eye. And I hustled through TSA pre-check, got right through, made the flight. It's pretty uncomfortable, but I made the flight, and I'm an idiot. I should have checked the whole AM PM thing. I just assumed the 12:30 flight was the red eye.
I love how he says should have checked the whole AM PM thing.
Right. Well, here was my issue. This is the dumb part. Is I said I want to fly
here's the
out.
Dumb part.
Yeah. No. Yes. I chose to fly out on Sunday. Why would they have given me an option to fly out Monday morning at 12:30? I said Sunday when I picked the dates that I was trying to fly. So why I assumed the 12:30 one without really looking at it was the AM on Monday when I specifically searched for a Sunday flight. Beyond me. I don't know.
So I was going to say, I've been listening to this. It's not a new book, but it's listening to audio book, Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep. And one of them says things cannot be your fault, but still your responsibility.
No, that was my fault and my responsibility.
Because even if you wanted to say it's not my fault, it's still your responsibility to figure out when you're supposed to fly.
I'm taking full claim to that. I'm just thrilled that they were like, you know what, we're not going to charge you anything. We'll just put you on this flight. It probably was cheaper. I probably could have, if I had called, I might have got credit. Yeah. But I didn't, and I made it home because I'm a grinder, because I knew I had to do the show on Monday after the playoff game.
Get to do the show. Well,
it's a thrill to be able to do this.
All right, we can ask Mark Tauscher about
that was uncomfortable.
What, you don't think it's a thrill to do the radio show?
You sound like you don't think it's a thrill to do the show.
I do think it's a thrill. That's why I took the red eye home. That's why I tried to book the red eye home.
So we should ask Mark about missing a flight. Mm-hmm. But then also we'll ask Mark, more importantly, about the Jeff Hafley news. If you're just tuning in, Metro Kia breaking news, or Metro Family Dealership breaking news, Jeff Hafley is interviewing for the New York Jets head coaching job. I would love Hafley and Rodgers. That'd be fun. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
The number 7 just got a whole lot luckier because of Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu. Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites from pizza, pasta, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and so much more. All for $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With this lucky deal, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have both at Pizza Hut. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They have Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
Adopting a teen was more fulfilling and rewarding than we ever thought it would be. We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Green Bay Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
What did you call yourself, Thundercat? Well, I appreciate it, Thunder.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer
Matt Hamilton. Help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Primetime Laura Shine behind the glass. And we are actually perfect timing to be joined by Packer Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Because, Mark, I think we had this conversation at the beginning of the season as far as Jeff Hafley. Could he be a head coaching candidate if the Packers had a great defense and made the Super Bowl? They didn't get to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't say their defense was great, but it was much improved and good. Yeah. He's getting the opportunity to interview with the New York Jets, and his head coaching experience at Boston College, along with a successful season as defensive coordinator for the Packers. Looking back on, I'm not that surprised that he's getting an interview already. Are you?
I'm not. I think, we were all impressed with kind of how he approached things from a media perspective, and then you just watch how the season unfolded and what he was able to do with this defense. And yeah, you could say it wasn't a Super Bowl winning defense, but this group played well enough in Philadelphia to win a playoff game. And I think when you look at the big picture on this, the defense improved in almost every category: the rush, the pass, the takeaways, everything you would have hoped for. I don't think anybody, when that announcement was made last year, everybody was surprised that a college coach was going to leave to be the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. I think everybody would say that was a home run hire by Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I'm just kind of devastated by the idea that we didn't make the Super Bowl, which was, I kind of was thinking might be the only caveat that's going to get him, or, at least an NFC Championship game would get him on teams' radars. But clearly the Jets liked what they saw as well enough to give him an interview.
Well, let's not get crazy here. Getting an interview is not getting the job. And I think Aaron Glenn is the odds-on favorite to get that job in New York. That doesn't mean that Hafley won't. And I would be really disappointed, not for Hafley, but for us as Packer fans, that it's 1 year and then you have to reboot again when you just had a building block that was so positive this year. It would really stink if you had to go back to kind of ground zero in order to reset that. That would be really unfortunate for everybody. So, obviously you always want people from an individual standpoint to, go and get their dreams and chase what they want to do. But selfishly, it would be a big blow to, this team, because there's no doubt it was the most improved group in our program.
The Packers' defense rating on Madden must have skyrocketed because
Woody Johnson's super interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt, you had two Matt Hamilton related questions, or at least in your wheelhouse for Mark.
Mark, have you ever missed a flight?
Yes.
You want to share?
How'd it go for you?
You know how sometimes you have stuff, and I will say this: I will never miss a flight coming home. I love getting home.
Yeah.
But there are times when I'm kind of like, if this flight's delayed, I'm not going to be that upset. It was for one of my teammates' golf outings, and it was only in Detroit. But it was one of those deals where I was over at there's a little golf course near the airport over there, and we had some drinks. I was with some buddies, and ended up getting dropped off a little bit late at the airport, and I missed that flight. So I just went back to the golf outing and caught a later flight, got in, and was still able to make the outing, which was the next day and everything else. But outside of that, I have a real problem with, I get nervous. I don't like being late to things. And when it comes to flying, I always, especially, getting home, I want to be there. I want to make sure that it's not going to be me that's the reason why we don't get home.
Right. I had a curling tournament last week, and I booked it Wednesday to Sunday, and for some reason I assumed my Sunday flight was the red-eye Monday morning. So I showed up to the airport to check in for my 12:30 flight, and they're like, yeah, it left like 12 hours ago. Fortunately, there was a red-eye out of Phoenix, and I was able to get on it because I show up early to the airport. An hour and a half, roughly, is my average time for showing up early to an airport. And, fortunately, the flight was at midnight, and I showed up at like 11:10. So I was able to get through security and make that next flight. They didn't charge me anything extra. Everything worked out. But
that's because you're a gold medal Olympic hero. That's how you pull that off.
Didn't even need to pull the gold card because I'm platinum member on Delta.
Stud.
And then your Rodgers-related question, I thought Mark would be a good person to at least have a little insight.
Yeah, I'm curious. One, do you think Rodgers plays next year? And if he does play, or if he does just choose to retire, do you think it's mostly because he's afraid that having another season like this season would taint his legacy a little bit?
No, his legacy is secure. That is not... I don't think that's anything. Here's the deal. If you're asking me right now, I'd say he's not going to. I think the season, he was able to play 17 weeks. Did it go the way he wanted? Obviously it didn't, but he still, by no stretch was he, did you look out there and say he stunk and he had some games. Was he as consistently great? He's obviously not the same player that he was. But anytime you're coming back from an injury, I think you want to prove to yourself that you can get back and you put in all that work. I think that was a real fulfilling thing for him. But I think he's probably, everything has to kind of match up perfectly. It's got to be a good team. It's got to be a team that is, going to pay him what he feels like he needs to be paid in order to do it. It's got to be in a location that he feels good about. It's got to be with a coach. So there's a lot of variables that at this point in his career, I'm not sure those variables will be met. And that's why I think he'll probably, this will probably be the end of his career. But knowing him and the competitor he is, I wouldn't be surprised if what he looks at more is, I'm going to go about my business. I'm going to stay in shape. And if there's a contending team that maybe has an injury in training camp or in the off season, maybe that is your avenue if you go back. But I would think after watching kind of how this season played out, I would bet that I don't think he's not going to be, I don't believe, signing a contract with somebody else in March or in April of this year.
So you don't think the Steelers could send him a note?
I doubt, but I think obviously there's a lot of respect there between Mike Tomlin and Aaron, and that could be one of the places that might be an available landing spot if that's what he chooses. But I just don't think that's the road he's going to go down. But, I could be wrong. I don't think I think Pittsburgh at some point is going to try and reboot and, get a young quarterback that they can, look at like what Ben Roethlisberger was able to do, because since Ben Roethlisberger's retired, it has just been a musical chair, complete shine show and they have been consistently average, and I don't think that's good enough for most people in Pittsburgh.
All right, so last one on Rodgers, and I'm going to pass to Jim.
We got him very excited because we're talking Rodgers.
Yeah. Jim had asked me, Rodgers is only 8 touchdown passes away from passing Brett Favre on the all-time touchdown leaderboard. Is that a factor in his decision to come back or not?
No, that would be like a cherry on top of a cherry if he decides he wants to come back. If that is the main reason that he wants to play football, I would be incredibly shocked. I think that would not even be in the top 10 of things that he's looking at from a checklist standpoint. Now, is he a competitor, and would he love to be able to go down to Hattiesburg in 10 years and say, I got you by one, old partner? Yeah, he would. But I don't think that's going to be any sense of motivation as far as what his plan is going to be moving forward.
All right, I want to play this cut quickly from Mina Kimes, and I wanted to get your thoughts to it because it was interesting, and she's very complimentary of Jordan Love, but she had an interesting take on how he can improve.
I think Jordan Love's lack of mobility is a huge problem and one that needs to be an off-season priority for him and for this team. Because there were numerous points in this game where I was like, keep it. And he would hand it off. Josh Jacobs would get stuffed behind the line of scrimmage, and it was wide open for him to keep. On the season, he has 5.5 rush yards per game. That's behind Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old, coming off of an Achilles. I went back and watched his longer scrambles. He looks fine. Look, he's not one of the premier dual threats in the NFL. He never will be. But, he looks fine running.
I mean, he's Mahomes level athleticism.
All right, let's stop it there. Yeah, so they say he's athletic enough to run. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, you also have to factor in, I think his knee and some of the other stuff. Now, late in the season, I don't think that's the excuse. But there's no doubt he has been really good at avoiding things in the pocket. I think not taking sacks was something he got a lot better at. But there's no doubt. I think part of it is play calling, too. Getting him out on some of those bootlegs, and that's something that I've been calling for the last month and a half, is under center, hard play action fakes with those big bootlegs that you see. You look at Monday night's game with the Rams, look at how they just torched Minnesota by doing that. That's all going to be stuff and, tandeming up with Josh Jacobs and figuring out how to keep that successful run game and mix the play action. But I do think Jordan Love, the injuries, I'm sure, were a factor this year. But getting out of the pocket and using your legs, he's proven last year that he can do that. And I would bet when he's fully healthy, you'll see a little bit more of that next year.
Yeah, it was an interesting take. Then we looked at the stats, and most of the playoff QBs had around 400. Not a crazy amount. It's just making that decision quicker and running with it. So I was just curious your thoughts on it.
And Jim, that guts the defenses. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating to a defense than it being 3rd and 7. Great coverage, good rush. They elude it, go pick up 9. That's the Mahomes deal you're just cheering on there. That's the stuff that kills defensive coordinators.
And Rodgers was really good at it, and he's a traditional pocket passer, so you can be both. And he was kind of another example.
And having that with keeping your eyes downfield, that's where you can make those big plays, and you put pressure on those linebackers to come close, and then the middle of the field opens up. So I think it's a very good point, and I'm sure Green Bay will look at how they can address that and make it a little more of a weapon next year.
Mark, I knew you were tight on time. We really appreciate you hopping on with us.
You got it. See you guys.
All right, that was Mark Tauscher, brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's family-owned and Madison's custom jeweler. You can listen back to the show, Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, any of those great places. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We'll be back at it tomorrow. I guess we'll do the David Kaplan hot sauce bet when I get back from vacation. I'm in tomorrow, but I don't care. You guys do what you want. I'm going to be on vacation with my wife and kids. I don't want to take any crap from them because of I might be doing it in the plane. So this is Jim, Matt, and Mike, presented by Coors Light.
Nerd. See ya.